Imagine you want that from a man, but you can't do that for yourself. You want a man to check in with you throughout the day, but you can't even go to the doctor to get a checkup once a year? Hello, welcome to my channel, 100 Days with Kaju. Today is day 25 of building our personal constitution. We are in our health and wellness section. We just talked about interaction with substances, with food, with our body, yada, yada, yada. Before then, our last section was routines, and then before that was our grounding article, so definitely check those videos out. In this video, we'll be talking about checkup, doctor, dentist, all of it. There's only so much we can do for ourselves, what we can prevent, what we can cure at home. But we need to make sure that we go to a professional to ensure that our body, our mind, are all right and, like, you know, in order. So in your personal constitution, you're going to be outlining the different types of doctor appointments you need to go to. This differs for everybody's because some people have more health concerns than others, women versus men. Of course, when you get older, you'll have different types of checkups and stuff. We'll start with the most basic one, your regular schmegular doctor's appointment. How often do you get your physical? How often do you get a checkup? How often do you go get a vaccine? You need to think about what you already do. And if that's zero, if you don't have health insurance, I get it. You're exempt from this conversation. I'm talking about the people who can afford it and have it, but then choose not to go and are paying it anyways. That's odd behavior. For me, I go to get my checkup about once or twice a year. I'm also including my vaccines because I always get my flu shots between, let's say, like September, December, whenever they have it available. That's when I get my flu shots, vaccines, all that stuff. And my doctor tells me what other I want to say vaccine or shots that I will have to potentially take in the future, and I just put that in my phone, and then I make sure to always book my next doctor's appointment when I leave the facility. Now, the gynecologist, I'm talking to us women, I don't go as often as I should. We should go at least once or twice a year. So definitely in my personal constitution, I'm going to lay out when I'll decide to go, when are the best times. I'm feeling that the times I go get my regular checks up, because my gynecologist and my doctor's office are like super close together, it would make sense for me to at least put them within the same week. So that's at least something that I would put in my personal constitution. If you know that you are only available for doctor's appointments during certain times of the year, because I know everyone's jobs are different. Some people have like a busier season on like different months and stuff. Try to schedule all your appointments practically within the same month. If you have to do it once a year, twice a year, if they're all around each other, it's hard for you to forget. Another thing that you want to put in your personal constitution are, one, having a little notebook to make sure that you are writing down any weird symptoms that you're having, any sicknesses, any medications you took, and again for women, whenever your last period was. And two, any questions that you had about your body, about your symptoms, about things that were going on that may have passed that you want to bring up. Because let's say, like for me, for example, I had like this weird rash and it went away, but I never really understood why it came around in the first place. So I know in the future I'll definitely take a picture of it. I will save it for when I go to my doctor. And honestly, I'm assuming a lot of us have this, but there's the MyNorton app, and pretty much I can text my doctor in real time and say, hey, like I have this rash, like take a picture of it, send it, tell them my symptoms immediately, so that way it's addressed immediately. So definitely put in your personal constitution whether or not you have that type of software available to you, and if not, if there are ways that you could find that. And once you do, you know, put it in there. You can put your login information just so you don't forget, and it's there. I know my personal constitution is digital, so like I can always like copy paste in case I forget like my username, password, because I don't use the MyNorton app often, but I know they do like biometrics. I'm getting off topic. Anywho, but definitely try to see if there's an app out there to where you can talk to your doctor real time. Next up, the dentist. Oh, you know a girl loves her teeth. I care about my teeth so much. Oh, I care about my teeth so much. I actually have a deep fear of losing my teeth. And not just like, oh, it just falls out of nowhere. No, I'm talking about something gruesome. You know when someone says like, oh, like eat the pavement? Oh, God, it's so scary. It's pretty much when you take somebody and you put their mouth to a pavement and you bang their head in. Oh my God, that is so scary and so violent. Someone told me that one time at a very formative, at an age I shouldn't have heard it. You want to make sure you go to the dentist at least 2 times a year. At least that's what my mom told me, and that's at least what our insurance covered. So that's definitely something that I need to do more as an adult. I know I care so much about my teeth, but I don't do it as much. It's like, do you really care? But I floss, I do oil pulling, I do mouthwash. I never go to sleep without brushing my teeth. I brush my teeth every single night, every single morning. So I care for my teeth a lot, and like luckily there's like nothing really bothering me, but definitely I need to go get it checked out just in case. You never know if my gums are super sensitive, if I'm having a bad reaction to something, or if I'm missing certain parts and my dentist is like, yo, like, we gotta fix this. So I should go just to be sure. And trust me, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. We all miss out on our appointments. We all forget about it. We all feel like, oh, it's not important until it's so important. We don't want to be in that position. We want to create a regular schedule and regular habit of taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves and getting checked out and checking in with ourselves, because it's like, again, imagine you want that from a man, but you can't do that for yourself. You want a man to check in with you throughout the day, but you can't even go to the doctor to get a checkup once a year? Once a year? You can't even check up on yourself, and you're paying for it. We gotta get priorities straight, you guys. We got to get it together. We gotta get it together. But this is why we're making our personal constitution, and that's why we're gonna put it in. A little FYI, I am creating a personalized affirmation app, and if you haven't done so already, go to my description box, join our emailing listing if you're interested for when it comes out, and to answer my survey so I understand what your needs are. Thank you, I love you, and let's continue with the rest of the video. Now, of course, there are plenty of different doctor's appointments and checkups and all that stuff that we do not have to do yet. Like, for instance, I don't need to get like my breast cancer, I don't know what it's called, but checkup yet. Until like, I think I'm like 26, which, whoa, wait a minute. That's next year. Oh my God, that's so scary. Oh my God, that's so scary. I'm glad we're making this personal constitution. Now I know. Mental note. Breast cancer, also when you're a little older, you get checked for like menopause, or women at a certain age, we gotta check for our fertility and all that stuff. Like, make sure you jot down every checkup that you may potentially have to take, may potentially have to do in the future. There we go. And the age that you'd have to go in for it, and also talk to your doctor. Maybe you don't know everything. You're like, hey, like X, Y, and Z, A, B, C, elemental P, like, what's up? And then have that discussion with your doctor. And again, if you have that messaging software that I do as well, or app, you can text your doctor real time and say, hey, like, would you be able to send me a list of all my checkups I'll need from this age forward? And your doctor will probably be like, yeah, I guess I could. They're not going to tell you no, right? So that way you know, like, when you need it. I feel like this goes without saying, but it's super important. If something is hurting, write it down. Right, when it started hurting, how much it hurts, where it hurts on your body, because we forget. Also, go to the doctor immediately. There's no reason for us to endure pain when we live in a society where like a doctor is somewhat readily available. Now, granted, like I said, not everybody has health insurance. The health care system isn't necessarily the best, but it is at least something that we can work with. We should at least try to utilize it if you can. Again, I'm not shaming anyone who is in a space where they can't afford it or they don't have access to it via transportation or whatever. If you do, there's no reason for us not to juice it. Ooh, okay. There's no reason for us not to fully utilize it. Now, I cannot go into like insurance and what benefits you apply to with your job. That adds like another layer. Just know for a fact what type of checkups that you need. And honestly, doing that will probably help you better select a healthcare benefit plan that better suits you. So I know there's a HSA, health savings account. I'm not your financial advisor here. I'm just chatting, right? And pretty much it's like you spend the money and then it like reimburses you, or like you cover it through those expenses, something like that. I'm not sure. I don't use that. But you want to see what that looks like. If you're with the spouse and they cover health insurance, you want to make sure like, oh, like, hey, does your health insurance cover these type of things? And be like, oh, well, no. It's like, okay, can we make sure that you select the one that does? You want to make sure that you go through like what you may need. Now, granted, there are things that happen in life where you will never know that you'll need it. For instance, like, let's say you became blind all of a sudden. Like, that's scary. That's horrible. And it's even scarier knowing that like your health insurance doesn't cover it. By the way, health insurance. Oh my God. We need free healthcare. We need free health care. JoJo for president. Okay, I can't be president, but we need free health care. Anywho, I'm not gonna make this political. But overall, like I said, just make sure that everything that you wrote down is in your spouse's health insurance, especially if you're covered in it. So that way you don't miss anything, because you don't want something to slip your mind. And like, let's say you just forgot that you need to get like breast cancer screenings. That's what it was, not checkups, screenings. And it just slipped your mind and you knew it was coming in a year, but then you forgot to tell your spouse. You're like, oh crap. Well, writing this in your personal constitution will help you ensure that we don't forget that. But for the stuff that are out of the blue and we don't know, it sucks. I really wish we had free healthcare, but we can work with what we got right now. That's truly all that I have right now. Just write down all the checkups that you will currently be needing, how often you'll be going, and make sure to write the months or days or time periods where you will go get those checkups, and also write down the checkups you'll have in the future, the age, and blah blah blah. Like, this is just for you to ensure that you are, oh, there's something in my room, that you are loving yourself and showing yourself compassion and showing yourself care. Like, this is a form of self-love and self-care, not just getting your nails done, getting your hair done. Going to the doctor is a form of self-love, and that's what we're here for. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you in our next video.